Hey friends, let's get moving. We're gonna have some funky flow fun today and do maybe some interesting things with our bodies that we don't normally do in some of my classes. Playing around with silly transitions or ways from moving in between poses that feel fun and lighthearted, maybe a little complex. Just do what you can and have fun with me. Let's get started. Standing up, keep your feet about hip distance apart. Relax your arms to your sides and let your rib cage settle down so that you can take full breaths into the back of your body. Okay, let's slide the right hand down the right thigh. Getting a little side stretch there. Exhale, back up. Left hand slides down the left thigh. Exhale to slide back up. Now this time, instead of just sliding straight down, first you're gonna shift your rib cage over to the right and then slide down. Notice how the stretch sensation changes. Exhale to rise. Same thing here. Shift the rib cage over to the left and then slide on down. Exhale to come back up. Okay, same thing here. Rib cage over to the right and then slide down. And if this feels well and manageable, go ahead and swoop your left arm forward and overhead, adding to the load here. Exhale to come back up. Releasing the left arm down, ribs shift over to the left, and then we slide down the left leg any amount. Right arm maybe sweeps forward and up. Exhale to come back to center. And lower your right arm down. Okay, let's go ahead and turn sideways, coming up towards the front of your practice space. Stretch your I've been doing this all day. Stretch your right foot back towards the back of your mat, coming into a lunge position. Bend your back knee and let your tailbone weight down towards the ground to increase the stretch sensation on the front of your thigh and hip. Okay, stretch your arms up. Can you keep your ribs mellow so that you can breathe into your back? And then we're gonna lean the torso forward. So as you start to lean the torso forward, watch to see how the core engages. Watch to see how the outer left hip starts to fire up. And exhale, come back upright. Inhale, pitch forward. And exhale, come back upright. Last one. Inhale, pitch forward. And then from here, you're going to maybe get super light just on your tippy toe. Maybe you're gonna baby hop your right foot up towards the left foot and float it off the ground. Oh, hello wall. Maybe you straighten your left leg. Maybe you come a little bit closer to parallel to the ground. I'm bending my arms because the wall is right here and I want to challenge my balance. Another thing you could do though is kind of Superman your hands onto the wall if you're close to one. So, whatever you want to do is fine. Okay, so now bring a bend back into your left foot and we're gonna let the right toes find the ground again. So we're still kind of in this leaned forward lunge. The left hip is saying, hey, I'm on fire. Exhale to lift your torso upright. And then from here, we're going to pivot the toes. Okay, so we're turning to the right, turning open to the right, and then turn the right toes towards the right. Okay, now if you look at your feet, your thighs might actually be crossed a little bit. So take your left foot and step it out a little bit. Okay, so here we have a bend in the right knee. The left leg is straight, and we're gonna shift the ribs to the right, put the right forearm on the thigh, and extend the left arm overhead. Take a few breaths here. And then from here, let's go ahead and exhale. And we're gonna stand all the way up, straightening the right leg. Turn the right toes in and step your left foot back a little bit so your feet are in a line with one another. You don't have one forward or backward. Turn the toes out, bend your knees. Got a squat here, wide squat. And just kind of shimmy from side to side a little bit, waking up the inner thighs. Hello, inner thighs. Hello, outer thighs, for that matter. Okay, from here, let's go ahead and straighten up the legs, and we're gonna pivot the toes so we're back in this lunge position that we started in. Step the right foot up to meet the left. Let's take a full breath in and out. Great job. Left foot steps back now, coming into this lunge position. We're gonna bend the back knee a bit so that we have room to tuck the tailbone under. Really letting the tailbone weight down towards the ground to increase sensation in the front of the left hip and thigh. Reach your arms up, breathing space into your back. We're gonna lean the torso forward. And as you do that, watch for that engagement of the core abdominals. Exhale, come back up. Inhale, pitching the torso forward. Exhale, coming back up. Inhale forward, and we're gonna stay forward, and then maybe you just come up onto the back foot toes, maybe you baby hop in, maybe you lift the left foot all the way up, maybe you straighten the right foot, maybe you Superman with your hands on the wall. If it feels too much work for your shoulders, you can move your arms back, that's fine too. Take a breath here. Okay, let's bend the right knee, set the left toes back down, torso still leaning forward a bit, and then exhale to rise up, straighten up. Okay, so I'm gonna be facing the wall for this part because we're turning to the left, okay? So then the left toes are turning out to the left even more, and you might need to step your right foot out a little bit. I'm stepping my right foot towards my wall here so that my legs actually aren't crossed. Okay, I'm not just gonna slump down and put my left forearm on my thigh, which is fine, but today I want you to articulate your ribs, slide your ribs towards the left, and then rest your left forearm on your thigh. Swoop your right arm overhead. Take some breaths. Okay, let's take an inhale, and then as you exhale, rise up, turn your left toes back in and step your feet so they're in a line. Then turn your toes out, bend your knees, wide squat, and you're just gonna shimmy your squat from side to side here. Rock it from side to side. Don't fall over, y'all. Okay. Hello to those inner thighs. Hello to those outer thighs. Hello to 360 degrees of thighs. And exhale, go ahead and straighten up. Let's pivot back to our starting position, okay, which was like turning our toes to the right, back into that lunge, and we're gonna step the left foot up to meet the right. Now, if you can moonwalk on a sticky mat, you can do that, but if you can't moonwalk, just step on back towards the back of your practice space. And from here, we're gonna bend the knees and move down towards the ground, lowering through as much of a squat as you can. If your heels come up, that's fine. If you can't go very far, that's fine too. Go ahead and put your hands on the ground and crawl into an all fours position. So if wrists are an issue, please feel free to be on your fists instead. So I'm gonna bring my right hand to the back of my head. I'm gonna remember to try to keep my neck nice and long here. And I'm gonna drop my right elbow towards the ground, kind of coming into a twist. I'm gonna take a breath in and exhale, level back out. Inhale, elbow points down. Exhale, level back out. Continue. Last one. Okay, so from here, you're going to kind of lean over into your left, pick your right knee up, and just put your right foot on the ground anywhere. My right knee is still bent quite a lot, okay? And then I'm gonna extend my right arm up towards the ceiling. And then from here, play around with this. Can you push down into your right foot? Can you push down into your left hand? Can you pick your left knee up off the ground? Okay, go ahead and set it back down. Mine lifted like maybe just enough for a piece of paper to slide under it. And let's go ahead and come back to all fours. Take a full breath in and out. Okay, so now nice long neck. Get my ponytail out of the way. Bring your left hand to the back of your head. We're gonna inhale and let the elbow come down towards the ground. This is basically a twist. And then as you exhale, coming back to starting. Inhale down, exhale to twist, or untwist, I mean. 3 more. 2. And 1. Okay, so from here, shifting into the right side, picking up the left knee and grounding the left foot. Okay, so kind of a wonky position. Lift the left arm up. Just hang out here and breathe for a moment. And then press down into your left foot, press down into your right hand. Can you pick your right knee up off the ground? Any amount. Maybe it doesn't lift all the way, maybe it just gets lighter. Okay, put it back down. Come back to all fours. Take a full breath in and out. Okay, so curl your toes under and shift your hips back and flip up onto your feet. So if your knee joints don't bend that much as mine do, this might look like more of like a this kind of a thing for you, okay? And that's fine. So whether your squat looked like that or whether it looks like this, whichever one is fine, okay? And like if your knees are bent as much as mine are, then you're gonna have to find your way into the other version anyway. So put your heels down, send your hips back, and stand on up. Okay, woo! Come back into the middle of your mat. Take your feet really wide apart, but let's keep the feet parallel, okay? So all 10 toes are pointing forward. And take your arms out, palms facing the ceiling, so you feel the bottom tips of your shoulder blades press into your back. And then we're gonna shift slide. I was trying to say shift and slide at the same time. Slide your ribs over to the right, and then slide your ribs over to the left. And just go back and forth here for a moment. Okay, the next time you come over to the right, go ahead and stop there. And then just keep going. I'm a little teapot. Big side bend here. You can let your neck relax and your head wilt. Okay, and we're gonna continue this as like a windmill. So you might need to bring a little bit of a bend into your knees. Your left arm is gonna start to come forward and your left shoulder is gonna follow. So your chest is kind of closing off towards the ground. Again, bend your knees as much as you need to. Bring your hands to the ground and crawl them over to the left. Okay, and so from here, you have both knees bent just a bit. You're gonna take a big breath in, and as you exhale, you're gonna float back up to our starting position. Okay, let's do the other side. So let's start those rib slides again, from side to side. Rib slides from side to side. And we're gonna go over to the left. Okay, and then let your left arm come down, right arm comes up. Relax through your neck. Just let it go. Take a few breaths here. And then we're gonna let the right arm come forward, right shoulder come forward, bringing a little bend into the knees to give the back some slack. We're gonna bring the hands to the ground, crawl across the middle, over to the right, and we're, ooh, nice hamstring stretch there. We're gonna take a deep breath in and exhale, blow back up to the top. Okay, now we're gonna make our way down to the ground. So we're gonna pivot our toes towards the left, so we're kind of in a lunge position. We're gonna lunge down. You're gonna take your right leg, ankle, and kick it over to the left and sit on down. So your legs are kind of in a number 4, okay? A number 4. So if this doesn't feel good for your back or your hips or your knees, please feel free to adjust. You can put a blanket under your bottom. You can put a blanket or a block under your knee for extra support. You can also rest your right ankle shin area right underneath your left knee for extra support as well. It's really up to you. Just kind of get as comfortable as you can, okay? Then, I'm gonna move mine back a little. Then take your hands back behind us. It's so fun, but it might be scary for you because you don't know where we're going. But I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. I don't know where we're going either. So let's take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, most of the push is going to come through the left heel, but you probably will also press through the outer right foot as well. Take a breath in, exhale, lift your hips, and go ahead and set your hips back down. Wasn't that fun? Okay, come back upright. Bend your left knee. We're gonna come back into that kind of wonky position here where we are on our knees. We're just retracing our steps. So then you're gonna kick your right ankle back out behind you. So we're in a pretty standard low lunge here, but we're gonna pause right here. So if you need a blanket under your knee, please feel free to set that up. I'm gonna pause right here and get your pelvis into neutral. Let your ribs settle. Lunge forward any amount. It's okay if your front knee comes over your ankle as long as it feels good. And then go ahead and put your hands on your low ribs on the sides of your body and do some swivel twists from side to side. Just using your waist and your trunk muscles to rotate your rib cage and upper spine. Okay, come back to center. D, lunge. Back your pelvis up. Curl your right toes under. Bring your hands to your hips. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, if you can just hydraulic lift straight up, go for it. If you need a little bit more support, you can lean your torso forward, and please feel free to put your hands on your front knee. I think I'm good. Yeah, I'm good to go up. Okay, let's go ahead and step the right foot up. Take a full breath in and out. Okay, let's step the left foot back, coming into that lunge again, and we're gonna just power down the knee all the way down to the ground. And then your left foot is your left ankle is gonna swivel behind you over to the right, and you're gonna go ahead and sit back. Now, This knee feels a little bit more vulnerable to me, so I'm gonna use my hands on the ground to help me on this side, and I hope that you felt comfortable to do that on the first side as well. So again, do what you need to do to get comfortable here. Take your hands behind your back, take a breath in, and then as you exhale, lift your hips away from the ground, any amount. Inhale, set your hips down. Come back upright with your torso. We're going to bend the right knee, put the right foot down on the ground. And again, maybe you just use some rocking momentum, or maybe you use your hands to help you get back to our low lunge position. Okay, again, blanket under the knee is great. Neutral pelvis. And we're going to shift the pelvis forward. Okay, and then hands on the low ribs and swivel twist. I hope you're having fun in our fun and funky flow. Okay, come back to center. So again, if you can just curl your left toes under and, well, first, D-lunge, back your pelvis up. If you can just hydraulic lift up, go for it. If you need to use your hands to help you, do that too. Let's make our way back up to standing. Feet together. Full breath in and out. Okay, make your way back down to the ground. I know we were just there. We're going back, however you need to get there. Okay, I'm gonna kind of scoot over towards the left side of my practice space so that I have more room and so that I don't go out of the frame. Extend your right leg and cross your left foot over your right leg, I mean. Okay, so sitting as tall as you can, maybe sitting on a blanket or a cushion to help you. You're going to bring your arms into kind of a cactus arm position, and you're gonna reconnect with that swivel twist. So taking a big breath in and exhale, just using your trunk to twist you to the left. And then we're gonna untwist, and we're gonna go so far that we kind of roll over onto the outer right hip, and we're gonna get our hands on the ground and crawl around into a plank. Okay, so you can do this with your knees down as well. So if your knees are down, you're gonna play around with crawling your knees forward towards your wrists and back again while trying to keep your spine nice and stable. If your knees are up, you're gonna go ahead and bend your knees to hover and do the same thing with hovering knees. Just crawl up and back. Then we're gonna roll onto the outer right foot and put the left foot in front of us, okay? You're gonna start to lower your hips down towards the ground until you start to feel, maybe you feel a little side stretch. If this is too much on your wrist, take your right hand forward more, okay? I love this stretch. I know that some people probably don't, and I'm sorry if you don't love it. So let's go ahead and set the right hip down, roll back into our seated position, come back to your cactus arms, take a breath in, exhale, swivel twist to the left. And this time you can go ahead and give that left knee a little bit of a hug, but I would discourage you from like cranking yourself deeper into the twist. Just kind of hang out, take a breath. Okay, I didn't come up with a fun transition to switch between sides. So for this, you're just gonna untwist, straighten your legs, and scooch. Scooch over towards the right side of your mat. Okay, so now the left leg is straight, the right leg crosses over. Come on into your cactus arms. Take a breath in. As you exhale, swivel twist to the right. Hang out there for a moment. And then we're gonna twist to the left. And once you like go as far as you can through your trunk, you're gonna have to float your right hip up. You're rolling onto the outer edge of the left hip to get your hands down to the ground, and you're gonna crawl yourself into a high plank with knees up or a low plank with knees down. And whichever one you've chosen, you're gonna crawl the knees towards the wrists and back out into your plank one time. And then you're gonna place the pinky toe side of your left foot on the ground and step your right foot out in front. So you're in kind of a side plank. Maybe you preemptively scoot your left hand forward to give your wrist a break. And then you're gonna let your hips sag towards the ground any amount. Hopefully engaging in a little side stretch there. So yummy for me. Okay, and then from here, you're gonna roll back onto your bottom, back into our starting position. Come back to your cactus arms, take a breath in, exhale, swiveling to the right. And from here, you can go ahead and relax your arms around your knee if that feels good. But again, you don't have to wrench yourself deeper into a twist. Just take a few breaths. And then untwist. Extend your legs. Scoot back into the middle of your practice space. Reach your arms forward, and you're gonna imagine that your tailbone is a spade. Dig a little hole in the ground as you start to roll down to your mat, one vertebra at a time. Until you get all the way down. Go ahead and stretch your body out long. Take a big deep breath in. Exhale. Give your knees a hug into your chest. You can rock a little bit. And put your feet back down on the ground. Cross your right thigh over your left and tip your legs over to the left, coming into a twist. You can feel free to open your right arm out to the side if you want. A little bit of a chest stretch here. And then come back into the middle. Uncross. Let's cross your left thigh over. Drop your legs over to the right. Maybe extending the left arm out to the left. Nice big breath. Bringing the legs back into the center, uncross, put both feet on the ground. Now, if you have time in your schedule for a little meditation or relaxation, please feel free to set a timer and get going on that. But if you have to get going with the rest of your day, let's go ahead and roll over to one side and slowly sit up. I hope that you were able to maintain a curious outlook, a playful outlook for today's class. Thank you so much. I'm proud of you for trying the fun and funky flow and for taking the time out of your day to focus on you. I'll see you next time.